Hello and welcome back to just another football podcast. Fergal and George, it's been a while. Chelsea are doing well now. What's the matter?
That's the reason why we're back, isn't it, really?
Yeah. I have to get come
straight on. 5-0 is we'll turn up after a 5-0, no problem.
Fair weather.
Absolutely. It's funny in the season that Chelsea have had that you have a 5-0 and a 6-0 win to your name. It's very funny. It's very funny how that team that you beat 6-0 beat us, Liverpool, 2-0, and ended our title chances once and for all. I think there's that song that goes about you lost the league at Goodison Park that has a really good ring to it, and I'm afraid that will kind of stick now. Makes you a little bit angry. But anyway, we need to talk about Chelsea actually, because my God, I only saw the highlights, but that reminded me of what I thought Chelsea would be in pre-season when I went to see them live. Like Nicholas Jackson was the Nicholas Jackson I thought he would be. Conor Gallagher was the Conor Gallagher I thought he would be, kind of box to box, making appearances in the area, stuff like that. It's looking good. What's the difference then? Where was that all season long?
Yeah, it's a bit of a surprise. I think naturally the young players have kind of grown into it. And maybe Poch just needed a bit of time with selecting who he actually likes, and kind of hand forced in terms of injuries. Perhaps that's maybe a mentality thing of, I will start this game, so I have to be prepared. While before we had such a large roster, and we've had injuries here and there, but not to this extent, where for the last couple games we've had the same team. And it's really helped in terms of a bit of consistency with formation, with personnel. And I wonder if that...
Madueke has really benefited from that, I think, having a run of games.
Yeah. And he knows he's going to start. There's not that insecurity maybe of, I need to fight for my place here. So there's freedom. And Madueke has been brilliant in terms of that. There's certain elements where he's a bit frustrating to watch. Holding onto the ball a little bit too long. But I don't mind that. I think you can afford that creativity. And I think there's going to be a number of really big losers out of the back of this. Fernandes being one. I don't know how he gets back into this team, especially with Nkunku probably coming into the left next season. Cole Palmer in the middle, Madueke on the right. And then Sterling, I think, a massive loser as well. I don't know where he comes back into this team. Yeah, it's interesting, but obviously really positive. Jackson looking good.
Sterling is a massive loser, you said.
Is that what the words were?
Yeah, I can literally click that. Make it a thing. That's perfect. Thank you. The last 5 games without Enzo Fernandez for Chelsea were a 5-0 win, 2-0 win, 2-2 draw, 6-0 win, 4-2 win.
15 goals, I think I heard it was.
Wow.
We've scored.
Yep.
Really, really impressive. Cucurella coming in sort of defensive midfield alongside Caicedo and build-up seems to have helped. I didn't like it when I initially saw it, and
I was very surprised.
But he's done okay. He's done well. He's now cemented a chant, which is an absolute cracker. He eats paella. He drinks Estrella. His hair is fucking massive. Is the chant?
That's good. That's very good.
So yeah, fair play to him. And Badashile I think because basically in the formation now where he's sort of left centre back in the build up, he kind of knows he has to dominate that whole left side, and then he's just stepping up and doing that. Whereas when he had Cucurella, that was always sort of left of him, maybe would like let Cucurella deal with it, and then Cucurella didn't deal with it, and then that caused problems.
Yeah.
So now Badiashile is just like, this whole left side, Cucurella, you just don't worry about it. I got this sort of. So yeah, Badiashile has done really well.
Done really well, just delegating responsibility to Cucurella, it sounds like.
No, the opposite. Cucurella has delegated it to Badiashile.
First time, okay.
And then Cucurella is doing stuff in the midfield now. He's pretending he's Philip Lahm or something. But yeah, we're a lot better. Yeah. I don't know how you can see anything with that hair. Like, it must affect his peripheral vision.
Really, really. Yeah.
I know whenever my hair starts to grow long, like it gets in my eyes. I can't see.
George, do you ever face these problems?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially when I was younger, when actually playing football more often, it was difficult.
It's a bit like blinders on a horse.
Great hair.
It's a bit like blinders on a horse.
Yeah.
His hair literally must be like just cut. Like, if he looks up at the top corner, he just sees black hair. But yeah, no, I'm sort of hesitant to see how long this is going to last. It's good for him. I have a feeling he will get targeted because it's like a new role. And then the other aspect of it is that we had Lewis Hall and Maatsen, who are Lewis Hall was actually a midfielder that was then given a position at left back whenever he broke into the team. And you're like, well, maybe he would have been perfect for the role Cucurella's doing. And then on the other side, and then Maatsen was the same. Maatsen was doing this for Burnley, where except way more attacking as well. So it's disappointing that those players who I would rate higher than Cucurella, or Maatsen definitely better than him. He's playing in the Champions League semi-final, but Lewis Hall definitely has bigger potential than Cucurella. So it's like, again, we could have done this better, but what we've got it out here in the end. And then going forward, the players have been great. Jackson's shaved his hair off. That's all he needed to do. And now, maybe if Cucurella does the same, he'd turn into Pirlo. Although Pirlo had hair, so maybe not. He had lovely hair.
He turned into Lahm.
Yeah, a bit short back and sides, yeah. Or like Cambiasso. Something like that. Anyway.
Yeah. Full shave.
Yeah. I'm interested to see when everyone's back and fit what way this looks. But I'm still not. The left side is interesting. If Nkunku goes in there, maybe even Jackson as a left winger. But I'm still not convinced over Mudryk.
No, definitely not.
If somebody came in to make an offer for Mudryk this summer, I would be very tempted to just let him go.
Yeah.
And Sterling's more solid in that he's smarter about the game defensively. Mudryk's just horrific that way. And I think Sterling will track back more. But then, is Sterling worth the wages that he's on? But then trying to offload him is going to be really difficult because of those wages.
Yeah.
Question about Thiago Silva. Because we, on this very podcast, have said statements like, he's past it. He's just way too slow now. This should be his last season in football, which it won't be, I don't think. He's leaving, but he's leaving for Brazil, right?
Fluminense, I think.
Fluminense. Okay. Well, two questions, actually. One, going back to Badiashile, is the fact that Badiashile has a different role now to Cucurella, and you actually have pretty much three midfielders in front of the center backs. Does that help Thiago Silva? And then, what is the role of Chalobah in that? Because Chalobah's been playing right back. Has that been a thing
Chalobah's right. Yeah, he was right, wasn't he?
Well, what happens is obviously as Cucurella goes into midfield or goes up,
it's like
it kind of shifts into a free. Yeah, it shifts into a 3-3, and I think it works really well, and it probably lends for. I mean, if you look at our back centre backs moving forward, we could probably do the inverse of that, which is Colwill sort of left back goes into left centre back, and then Reece James, into centre mid as an inverted wing back. So I think there's a lot of potential there. I don't know if it works in terms of flipping it. Obviously, then Caicedo would have to be left centre mid.
Yeah.
Gallagher. It's but
there's a full preseason to figure that out if you want to carry on with the kind of 3-3.
Yeah.
I guess it's 3-3-3-1 now. That was a Guardiola thing in COVID, I think. But yeah, carry on.
Yeah, I think Thiago Silva's definitely benefited from it. He looks better in the back five or back three when Chalobah comes across. And I think we've seen like the resurgence of like proper centre backs playing across the back four, three.
Flat certainly with
Pep. Yeah, Akanji and Ake and Gavadio in Pep's defence. It's interesting, and I think it definitely has given us a lot. You talk about the attack; it's given us a lot more defensive stability. We've been conceding a lot less. So
you have like more numbers per area of the pitch. I feel like to win the ball back. When one of the I think the fourth goal, obviously Souček was so incredibly flimsy with that. Like it was so pathetic. But Cucurella, sorry, not Cucurella. It was Caicedo that won the ball back shot. Kind of showed us what he's all about. Wins the ball back, carries it, slides it in, which is just a reminder of what Moises Caicedo was, but on easy mode, I guess. But it just made me think there's more to Chelsea now defensively than there was before. And the Chelsea video I made early in the season was like the midfield was the problem, because there would be just a lot of overturns from the fact that there was only Conor Gallagher there, and then everybody else was forward in a line of 5 or 6 that just pass combinations would be too difficult to connect, and then it's a giveaway, and then that happens again. And just wider areas, of course, could do more defensively. Obviously, you've spoken about Mudryk there, but I wonder what your thoughts on Noni Madueke. It was the same. So that could be a problem because you only have one man defending both sides. Well, one each side.
Yeah, I think against Spurs, Madueke, I think Poch commended him for tracking his running. So I think it's clicked with Madueke that he needs to go both ways.
Yeah.
Mudryk, it's still yet to be seen. But if he starts not getting in the team, then I'm sure that'll click pretty quickly with him that he needs to start running. The other way as well as going forward. It was a big thing. It was like the wingers weren't tracking back, and then leaving 2 fullbacks who aren't amazing left to defend 2 people. Was it the Bruno Fernandes header at the back post? That was like prime example of just not tracking your runner. And there was no pressure on the cross then, and then on top of it, there was no one at the back post to defend it. 2 people. So it's still getting those basics right, and Poch has been hammering that point home that journalists have been asking him about the formational change in Cucurella moving into the field, and he just brought it back to where the basics of working hard. Like he was like basically saying we're winning the duels, we have an intensity and an energy, and first and foremost. And that's the main thing. That's the main change. He keeps reiterating as to why Chelsea are doing well. And but Cole Palmer was poor defensively as well. He doesn't always track back, but you can forgive him for his attacking output. And I think that's just
10,
something that comes
like an old school number 10. I love him so much.
He can't be all the time though. Like Bernardo Silva isn't like that, and he'll but you can forgive him because he's young, but they'll all have to learn that side of the game, that whenever they come up against an attacking fullback that's a threat for the other team, they're going to have to do a job on them, or if there's a midfielder they have to track. So yeah, there's a lot to learn for this Chelsea team still, but great results, potentially getting some sort of European spot, and it's still on the cards, even if it is Europa Conference. I think either Europa Conference or Europa League would suit this squad's development very well. Especially your latter stages of Europa League would be just the right amount of testing for them. We've still got a big squad when everybody's back fit, so this will give those players more games to get more people on the pitch. Whereas without Europe, you're trying to fit 30 people into one game a week. So having that extra few games will definitely make a difference. I think there's going to be more games as well because of the new format than there is this season as well. So hopefully we'll make one of those competitions.
Speaking of Cole Palmer, there's the number 10's video, which is up on the channel. Go check that out after you've watched or listened to this one on the Just Another Football Podcast YouTube channel. Moving on to the other side of that London derby, West Ham. I was on a certain Discord server, and the question was kind of put out there. I don't remember what context, and it went something like, "Who has it put 5 past West Ham this season?" My mind immediately went to Liverpool drawing against West Ham 2-2 the other day. But I did remember that we beat them 5-1 in the Carabao Cup. So there was that. David Moyes, it's a bit of an anomaly because he's arguably taken them to the highest heights they've ever seen, potentially. I'm not very clued up on their previous history. And then there's that. There's such a divide in the fan base, I find, where it's either they're all in on David Moyes because of what he's done for the club, or all just given up on him because of current results and style of football. And you kind of can't argue with either side. I can sympathize with both. Where do you see it, though?
Yeah. It's so weird because obviously I think they're looking at it now. They've conceded 70 goals, which is the fourth worst. Which is only the bottom 3 have conceded more.
Sheffield United have broken 100. Congratulations, Sheffield United.
Centurions.
It's West Ham's joint worst Premier League season for goals conceded. They matched their record of 70 with 2 games remaining.
Okay.
And the problem with that is it's not as though they are playing a 1-for-1, outscoring. Let's just outscore them, and that happens in certain games. But it's not a brand of football that is just so expansive that you can let in a few goals here and there. It seems to be dross football and mixed with pretty terrible defending. You could see how much they miss Declan Rice. But the thing I find really difficult, and to be fair, Chelsea's had it in the past, where you've got a manager there that you're still in 9th place. I mean, you talk about the teams that are above them: Man United, Chelsea, Newcastle, Tottenham, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal. Arguably, Aston Villa's the only team there where you go, okay, we should be competing with that kind of football team. Maybe Newcastle early on in the Saudi sort of journey, but you balance that and you're like, well, actually it's not that bad of a season. So it's really tough. It seems like what you're seeing in day to day in terms of the acid test, in terms of the football, just doesn't marry up with where they have been in terms of winning a Europa League conference and being ninth in the league or whatever it might be. It's almost like perception is completely different to what reality is. It's really odd. So I can see why that conflict is there at West Ham. I've got quite a lot of West Ham fans, and most are not a fan of Moyes anymore, which I do find a little bit baffling.
It's kind of like, is the grass always greener? Like, you see this quite a lot. The one that always sticks in my mind was Stoke City when they try to sack Pulis, and there's a couple of really good signings they made on paper. There was like a guy from Porto that was a midfielder. He was meant to be great. I can't remember his name now.
Was there Broja as well from Barcelona? Is it Broja? Shaqiri,
Afellay,
yeah.
There was a stat about Stoke's players that participate. Hold on. Oh yeah, there you go. Sorry, I'm just going to mention this very quickly. Joselu's appearance for Real Madrid in the Champions League semi-final means the 2015-16 Stoke squad had footballers who played in the Champions League semi-finals in 2004, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 19, and 24.
Crazy.
Yeah. So like that too. They're moving them now. It's harsh on David Moyes to compare him to like the way that Tully Pulis, the Stoke City side, were playing, but it was the same sort of idea that we can really release this squad's potential, and if we just get in a better manager, or a more expansive manager in like Lopetegui. And in fairness, Lopetegui's he's done well. Like he even in the Premier League, he's done okay with Wolves. But it's a risk. What there seems to be different ideas between David Moyes and the director of football as to what sort of path they want to take.
I remember, because this is an important bit of context. In the summer, this gets forgotten, that we had West Ham quite low down, and we're talking about the possibility of the relegation because of their summer recruitment differences.
Yeah.
And then they had a really good start, if I remember correctly, to the season, and we're like, oh, what's all the fuss about? But then it manifests itself again now.
Yeah. Like the fact that the Scamacca came in and he didn't, David Moyes just didn't fancy him in the end, because he really didn't suit David Moyes' style of football.
No.
Now he went back to Atalanta. Well, back to Italy, went to Atalanta, and I just looked it up. He's got 9 in 24 games. So maybe David Moyes got that one right. Maybe beforehand it was Scamacca just had a good season for him. But yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
Things aren't marrying up, but they're still going to have to transition the squad quite a lot into more, like, they're going to have to get more sort of ball playing players. That, like, Soufal doesn't really strike me as a player that would last the change or survive through a transition of where they want to go. Like Ogbonna was playing against Chelsea, and he's
going up.
I think. Yeah. And Souček as well. You're like, he works really well in David Moyes' side, but is it those sort of players that are going to go? But then
arguably Mikel Antonio.
Definitely. Antonio, definitely.
But the three behind the striker are great. Kudus, Paqueta, and Bowen. Paqueta might go this summer, but and it's who they replace him with. But it's a difficult one for West Ham. I would sort of be on the side of better the devil, and stick with David Moyes and also back him in the transfer market. I think if they transition, I could imagine they're going to take a step back because they're transitioning into a different outfit. maybe they'd be better off the season after, but it's not going to be any guarantees or plain sailing. But the West Ham family as well. He wanted David Moyes out while they were winning the conference, Europa Conference. He was like, I enjoyed the moment, but I still want him gone.
Yeah,
but there's been fans like that for a while.
Kind of fair. And I would attribute their problems to the difference in vision in recruitment process and where the and that's a leadership and board structure thing. I'd say David Moyes has done an obviously incredible job. Going back to the,
I know, sorry, go. It's one of the things we always pick up on, or I always think about this time of the season, is maybe maybe next episode, but we'll all just try and write down what we think the Premier League table looks like.
Yeah,
because at this point of the season, you could get lost with the narratives of clubs as to where they actually are in the Premier League. Yeah. And as you said, George, when you look up the table from West Ham, you go, yeah, it kind of makes sense where they are. But with the narrative that it is at the moment, you're like, what are they? Just avoiding relegation? No, they're ninth. They're doing okay.
Also applies to Manchester United.
Yeah.
To even more extreme extent, I would say.
And Chelsea, like the way Chelsea's went, you would have thought that they jumped from like 15th to 6th in the space of 2 games. The way the narratives have changed about it. So like sometimes I don't always look at the Premier League table and make a note of who's where is everyone. And sometimes I'm totally surprised as to where teams are just because of what the narrative is around. It's easily to get fooled by it.
Yeah, 100%. Going back very quickly to because I found this a little bit funny. The squad of West Ham, he was talking about the defenders there and who would survive, and the attacking midfielders and wingers would survive the transition. If you look at the SOFA score page for Chelsea West Ham, you'd find the outfielders, it's red at the back and then gets greener as you move forward. And then Mikel Antonio, orange. So it's very reflective, I would say. It's a very well made point. Jared Bowen is 6'4" just because he hit the crossbar 3 times. But that, notwithstanding. 3 times hitting the crossbar, man. That's so unlucky. Okay, moving on to something a little bit more positive. We will see Ipswich Town in the Premier League next season. And the Egyptian King, Sam Mursi, the club captain, who has led the Tractor Boys to glory, back-to-back promotions from League One to the Premier League in spectacular fashion. I think it was something like 130 goals in 2 seasons or something silly like that. Amazing achievement. I watched them. I think before the season started, there were quite a few podcasts. Obviously, my main form of consuming championship content, I will be honest. A lot of them seem to agree that Ipswich Town have a chance to be promoted. And I was really confused at the time, but I can obviously see why now. What a performance on the final day.
Yeah.
It was really, really good. And we'll get, actually, before we carry on, we will do our short king of the week, championship themed. So stay tuned. And one spoiler there is that we have 3 different candidates. So it should be exciting. Ipswich in the Premier League. Obviously, Leicester City kind of walked it, had a little bit of a stumble, but they're back, no problem. Leeds United are in the playoffs.
It's the classic big team that was in the automatic position and have just lost form, and now we're going into the playoffs in the worst form out of those teams. It doesn't usually go well for that team.
And historically, third place doesn't have it end well for them in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I wonder. It's going to be tough. Like the squads are ridiculous. The squads of Leicester, Leeds, and Southampton
it's insane.
Are ridiculously good. If you carry on, I think we're gonna have to go grab a charger here. So I'm gonna mute my mic. If you carry on toiling with it.
Fergal's laptop's about to die. Yeah, but with those three squads, you wonder how they ended up in the championship. We wondered that last season when the three of them went down. We wonder about it now. How are players like Crescencio Somerville in the championship? Crescencio Somerville has been Short King of the Week once on this podcast this season.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And on top of that, I think that just I was going to mention it while you're mentioning Ipswich. Just how impressive getting automatic promotion is. This year in the championship. Oh, it's incredible, and you know, it reflects how many points, you know, Southampton and Leeds have got and not, you know, achieved second place.
Yeah, I'll cut you off there just to do a stat on that. Actually, the first time, or like the second time in 20-some years, but it's exceedingly rare that it's not a proper stat, I suppose, but 3 teams in the championship getting 90 points.
Yeah,
I think it's only happened for the second time ever, something like that. It's very incredibly rare. But yeah, carry on.
And Southampton 3 points off that as well, you know. So it's incredible that one of them won't be promoted. I think it was almost sort of a mentality of, they'll all go back up. In fact, you know, with the form of probably Norwich and West Brom coming into it, you know, imagine if neither Southampton and Leeds go up. It'd be pretty incredible.
Well, Norwich's form is stinky. It was 1 win in 5, and then West Brom's is
it's 1 in 5, but they've been drawing games, and I think not losing games is really important going into a playoff. You don't want to be out of it after the first game. So yeah, it'd be really interesting to see who goes out.
Norwich led, spearheaded by their frontman Josh Sargent, the US international. Be keeping an eye out on that one. For the record, I do want to see Leeds back up. They're just way too good to be in the championship.
No,
I know you're a Chelsea fan. You won't like this, but I'd like to see Leeds back up. Definitely not West Brom. Definitely not West Brom.
I find it mental just how strong the championship is at the moment. Like those 4 teams in the playoff, like they've all been in the Premier League like of recent years and had like varying success, but they have those 4 quite big teams in it. And then if you look just outside the playoffs, you have Hull City, who haven't been in the Premier League in a while, but they seem to be building momentum.
They have such a strong squad. They should have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, Middlesbrough, who had a good season last year with Michael Carrick, and Coventry as well.
Yeah,
Coventry they ended in the semi-final. So like, that's what brings it. The top 9 are so strong, and then you have we'll move on to the other end of the championship now, and talk about the big team that went down, Birmingham City. Like what a disaster.
Wayne
and
Rooney,
a team like Plymouth staying up, like just incredible. But what a shit show for the new owners. Like if they just hadn't have touched it, they probably would have been fine. Ancelotti's talked about it recently. He just is like, I just do nothing. You know, that's what Ancelotti said. Like, you know, I trust these players and let it go.
I thought you were saying Ancelotti talked about Birmingham City somehow.
That would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Jude Bellingham's filling him in on what's happened. In fairness,
Absolutely,
I'm sure he's well aware of it. But yeah, like it's just it's ambition in the wrong way that has cost them.
It's not ambition. I don't think it has anything to do with ambition. I think the American mentality, being an American and being a soccer fan in the US and not being a fan of American sports and being actually foreign to the American sports culture in general, but right in the middle of it, because I was brought up Egyptian through like the Egyptian soccer culture. So this is 100% not ambition. It is just how can we make ourselves most visible to the world as much as possible. Who is this who's this boring championship guy that's been here for so many years? Let's bring in Wayne Rooney. He has some experience in the championship, right? And has managed in the MLS before, of course. Let's bring him in. He'll get clicks. That is what they would have been thinking about. And because they don't have promotion and relegation, and because they have seen how well they had been doing, they thought this can't go wrong. Surely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. They probably believe the too big to go down sort of statement.
Yeah.
And then, it's an absolute disaster. Oh, unbelievable season to be an Aston Villa fan.
Oh wow, yeah.
Looks like you're getting Champions League football, and Birmingham City are relegated to League One.
Yeah.
I'm sure Catherine's over the moon. But
shout out Catherine, our queen.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And great to see Plymouth Argyle still. That's there's no Finn Azaz isn't there anymore. He's in Middlesbrough now, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he played with Plymouth until January, I think.
Yeah.
So a part of it for sure.
Yeah.
And January was the better half of the season. They lost so many players in January, I remember. And then they kind of faded out, almost went down. But Birmingham did Birmingham things, and Tom Brady decided otherwise. Very quickly on the title race. I mean, it's still on, but it's not really, is it? Okay. My feeling is that it is 100% absolutely factually inevitable that Manchester City will win the Premier League, and there's no competition. I know that Arsenal are first at the moment, and City have to win against Tottenham in a very tricky stadium for them. But how much confidence do I have in Tottenham, having seen their performance against Liverpool? Not much.
They literally have like two of the least informed teams coming into this, Spurs and West Ham.
West Ham is a foregone conclusion. And I feel like if Tottenham too is kind of done.
I feel like the best chance of them dropping points is Fulham away.
Yeah.
Sure.
That
tells you everything.
It's not looking good.
On top of that, I think just to compound that, and I've said this before, and I think you've argued with me on this, Ali, but I'll double down. Man United love a passion game. They absolutely love. And of course, they don't want City to win the
against
league.
Liverpool. Yes, twice. We haven't beaten them this season.
A passion game, and I feel like there is, obviously they don't want City to win the league, but they do want to just disrupt. They want to disrupt any top four team by turning on a performance when everyone's doubting them, and arguably Ten Hag has his job to keep. I think there's a stumbling block there for Arsenal.
They'll be replaying the Roy Keane versus Vieira montages. The bust up with Gary Neville. All of that will be getting replayed, and passion will be on show. Yeah.
Passion. Yeah, I mean, Man City to win the title then, because I think the next time we talk, they might have already won it.
It does look that way.
Yeah.
Sorry, Harry. Better luck next time.
However,
Haaland
won't win the Golden Boot. Alexander Isak will.
What are the Golden Boot standings anyway?
I think he's like 5 goals ahead of.
Oh, wow. Okay, I respect the prediction, and I can definitely see it. I don't think it'll happen. Haaland definitely wins a little bit for me.
The standings, the top.
Which is a safe bet.
The top 5 are Erling Haaland 25 after scoring 4 goals.
Yep.
It should be a cap put on for Haaland. Like only 2 gets added, something like that. Cole Palmer 21, Isak 20, Ollie Watkins 19, and then joint 5th Salah and Solanke on 18. If only Chelsea had still had Tony.
Well, Mo Salah, of course, the first player ever in Premier League history to reach double-double for assists and goals, obviously, in 3 seasons in a row.
I've just scrolled further down here, Ali, and I've just seen the one of the biggest flops of the season. Nicholas Jackson has 13 goals, and Kai Havertz, who's one of the best signings, only has 12. It blows my mind.
It's bizarre. It's totally insane. Who would have thought?
These narratives are just getting thrown about all over the place. Oh,
it's crazy, Fergal. It's crazy.
For a seasoned pro like Jackson, how many seasons is it? 5 seasons in the Premier? No, it's his first season in the Premier League. Can everybody calm down? He's doing just fine. 12 goals, 5 assists. Thanks very much.
He's still a really strange player to watch, and definitely misses chances. Does he miss as much as Darwin Núñez? No, Darwin Núñez is either offside or misses a big chance every 38 minutes. I think it was.
That's
a remarkable
stat. I would like to see what Timo Werner's stats for that compared to Núñez. Whenever he was at Chelsea, not when he's at Spurs.
Yeah,
I'd like to see what the comparison is. Is he on Timo's level, or is he not quite on? And when I say on his level, I mean, is he as bad as Timo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two more goals than Núñez as well, and Núñez was meant to be having a great season. That's Nicholas Jackson, I mean.
Darwin Núñez has sadly had such a bad season that some Liverpool quote unquote fans have found it smart to direct so much abuse at him that he has deleted all Liverpool related content from his social media. That is sad. Yeah, he deleted every Liverpool picture apart from his signing day from his Instagram page. It's all just sky blue now.
It's not the smartest decision by him. But
I don't think so.
That does explain a lot.
It does explain a lot. I don't think it's I think it's reactionary. Who knows what kinds of messages have been sent to him, and we've seen some horrific examples of stuff like that happening to players in the past and going like way beyond the line. You can't even see the line. So we don't know, but
like by getting rid of the everything to do with Liverpool, it's sort of like his view on it is that all of the Liverpool fans are he's annoyed with all the Liverpool fans. That's the sort of message that sends out.
Yeah,
as opposed to
sorry.
As opposed to he's just disappointed with the few that have said whatever they said to him.
Yeah, I think if he'd had put out a statement and then get the positive responses, and I definitely would sympathize with him in that scenario. That sympathy, and then you'd get songs on him at Anfield and everything. He'd turn around his form.
He needs to get the PR team that was running Man United when they were doing an apology after every performance.
Goodness.
Remember that Harry Maguire done like numerous apologies. I was waiting at that point. I was waiting for like like the cat when a YouTuber does like some big mistake and they set up the camera like this here and they keep it all in and then they go. Well, wipe away it here. I was waiting for that to happen with Man United at that point, but didn't quite get that bad.
Yeah, and then the thumbnail would be just a thing like.
Yeah.
It's great podcasting. Shocking of the week, Championship edition. For the record, if it wasn't Championship edition, I'd have obviously chosen Mohamed Salah for being one of the greatest Premier League players of all time, and making that 3-season run of double-doubles. Just needed to put that on record for my own sanity.
Yeah.
Championship edition, Shocking of the week. Fergal, go.
I am going to go for Sammy Smodics, who top goal scorer, 27 goals I think it was, and he's got 2 at the weekend. Celebrated before he put the ball in the back of the net, which was ballsy.
Yeah,
and he's Irish, That's always a bonus point for me.
Smollix is Irish. Yeah, I did not know that. Why did not?
Yeah, he's got a Hungarian. He only literally just got his first cap there in the last window. He was meant to have got it like a few times before, and something came up, or the it was a whole thing. But he finally got capped for Ireland. His grandfather was a Hungarian, but I don't. By the time he was on record saying like he hasn't got an awful lot of connection to Hungary. It's just his name that is carried down, but. I think it's a lot more Irish in his family, so he's ended up playing for Ireland. Championship top goals for 27 goals, kept Blackburn up basically with those goals. And he'll go on a free this summer. So interested to see where he lands. If the Premier League team will take a punt on him, or if it's going to be upper end Championship. But whoever gets him has got a player really in form. He's had a great season. He is 5'7", from what I
very good.
Very good. Do you know what about Sammy Szmodics and those sort of players? I really wish more Premier League teams would take punts on them. I know, to be fair, he's not exactly a young player anymore. He's
like 27. But then the fact he's on a free. The fact that he's on a free will probably help that. You don't have to pay a big fee, and you can be like, it's a punt. He's experienced. He should be able to hit the ground running, as opposed to a younger player that might need a bit of work or a bit of time. In theory, if you get him in early pre-season, he should hit the ground running, and it's not really any extra, not a massive cost, because he's also coming from the Championship. So even if you're paying it, they obviously. Players on a free transfer get paid a lot more. I actually saw a reel there recently reminded me of Malang Sarr, and listed all the players that are on less of a wage than him. He's on 120 grand. I think Thiago Silva is one of the players that has less money than him a week. So but if you're buying somebody from the Championship on a free, you probably will still have a lower wage. So I think he's worth a punt for a lot of clubs.
He's low risk. We'll see those sort of goals, but I can also see, and I think the commentator said when I was watching the games, basically anyone who gets relegated from the Premier League will absolutely be looking at him, because those goals, take you back up. But fun fact on Sammy Szmodics, he used to play for Colchester, where I was born. I do a FM Colchester save every year. I haven't actually done one this year, so that's reminded me I might need to do one. But I took him to the Premier League when he was 19, and on top of that, played him in shadow striker. So I was revolutionary.
Knowledge.
Revolutionary.
What FM was
that? 19. It's 10 years ago.
Yeah, it might have been. No, it can't have been. It can't have been when he was 19. I thought he was younger. But yeah, I'll try and pull up the save. Maybe I'll be able to get you a screenshot for you, Ali.
Mid 2000s then.
Yeah.
Yeah, way before I started playing FM. Wow. One of my regrets that
it probably was started.
It'd be like 2014, 2015.
Well, I haven't started playing FM until COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a surprising fact of my life. I don't know how that happened either. I am going for someone different. So, George, Sammy Szmodics is also yours, right?
No.
Okay. You go for it then. Who's yours?
Mine is, and it comes along with a prediction as well.
I like this.
Adam Armstrong, for being pivotal in Southampton's campaign to try and get promoted, scoring the second most goals.
Is that a positive? Being pivotal in Southampton's failed quest to get automatic promotion.
He's just behind Sammy Szmodics, and that's fine.
Yeah, this is why he's
also a striker, short striker, which is good.
He is a short striker, and on top of that, Southampton will get promoted, and he will score more than 15 goals in the Premier League next season.
Oh,
more than 15.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a couple of years since his Premier League campaign.
Yeah.
But wow, 15 in the Premier League.
Yep.
That's a lot. Well, mine is Wes Burns of Ipswich Town. He's one of the many, many players that have actually stayed from the League One promotion campaign all the way up to now. So there he is. He scored probably the goal of the season in the EFL altogether, I would say. Outside of the boot, I don't know if you've seen it before. It was doing the rounds on Twitter for a long time and resurfaced when Ipswich started looking like they might go up automatically. It was actually, it was so many passes. It was the Zerbian, and then Burns gets it on the right. It was like a classic. Sorry. It's a word I can find.
Deserbian. Oh my god, that's horrendous.
No. It's not some sort of tactical, nerd phrase. It's just for the amount of passes that they put together.
It's
not going to work in the Premier League. Just to be clear. But anyway,
that sounds like your least favorite Twitter tacticals account's favorite phrase.
In that case, I'm very sorry, Fergal. I'm really sorry. What was I thinking? Anyway, it was a lot of passes put together. It was very well worked. And then Burns, who was actually like a really classic right-footed right winger, would get to the byline, put the cross in, but he decides to cut inside and whip it Quaresma to the far post.
Oh, like a Trivela.
Like a Trivela, yeah. It was my preferred goal of the season. I'm aware of a certain Patrick Bamford goal, but this is my preferred EFL goal of the season. It's really good, and he scored at the weekend in the game that got them promoted. So yeah, I think he would be a worthy winner. But who is it going to? Is it the Irishman, Sammy Smodics of Hungarian descent, who carried the team on his shoulders and kept them up? Is it the short striker, which is always a bonus, but ultimately they didn't go up yet?
No.
Or is it just another,
he scored less. He also scored less than Sammy Smodics. So
I think the case for Sammy Smodics is much stronger.
100%.
Yeah. So it's between the guy that won promotion or Sammy Smodics. George, you the deciding vote then.
I think for me, just having that much influence on the team and also keeping them up,
MVP
has to be Sammy Smodics.
I'll give it to you because of the FM story.
Really cool name as well.
Yeah,
so
I agree on that as well.
Smodics, yeah.
Okay, Sammy Smodics has won Short King of the Week. Congratulations to the Irishman, the Hungarian, the Shadow Striker, the top goal scorer of the championship season. And with that, we shall finish. That was a bit of a bumper at the end. This is 55 minutes of recording. Unreal. I thought it was 40. I better get back to work now. So, Fergal and George, thank you. It's great to see you again. Nodded. Just nodded. Yeah. That's very good podcasting for the listeners. Yeah, okay. That's better. All right. I'll see you guys later. Cheers. Bye.
Bye.